There we go, Jack. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for
Good to see you.
jumping on. I've been doing a few of these little interviews with my clients lately, and I've had some great feedback, mate. And I know we're yet to do our podcast together, but I wanted to jump on a call with you today just to give you a little insight because you was one of my clients that done really well throughout the coaching in so many different aspects and areas, and I'd love to just touch base today to give other people an understanding of what coaching is, what it entails, what's possible when you actually commit and put your mind to it, and it just show your journey from where you was and what you was doing to sort of where you got to and the things that you achieved and overcome, right? So what was your life like before jumping on the coaching with myself?
Very different to what it is now. It was lost, confused, um, self-destructive at times, majority of the time for many of years. Lack of purpose, a lack of clarity, bad habits, over and over again, just consistent. I would always use an analogy of 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. That was my life for
Mm,
many years. Always wanted to do more, always tried to do more, but never really had the right framework and mainly mindset and tools to me. Right,
mm,
felt lost a lot for many of years. To be honest, just winging through life. I look back and go, what did I do? What
mm.
happened? What did I achieve? What have I put in play? Yeah, now obviously, which we'll touch on, but yeah, lost, unpurposeful, no meaning to a direction.
When was that moment when you felt like, you know what, I need to change, I need to do something different, like what you're currently doing is not working, or like you just feel like you needed to get some support or outside help?
It was a build up. It was many of years of having that I need to change. Right, I told the missus many a times I'm going to change. We're going to sort things out. Well, today's the day. But then it wouldn't be because it would just fall back into the bad habits, the bad traits, the negative thoughts, the self auto day to day life. You're not thinking, you're just going through it, right? It come to a point, to be honest, where it was a hard conversation with Danny, which like things do need to change, and collectively you need to go and sort things out. And it sat with me for another couple of months. I'm in an R in, and then for something deep inside of me just said, "What do you want from life?" And that stuck with me for a little bit longer. That
Mm.
question, "What do you want from life?" And then it was motivational videos on Instagram, getting hooked on them too many times, and going down that rabbit hole a couple of times. And then one of your videos popped up, and I saved one. Week later, a couple more popped up, saved a couple more, and I was like, "No, this sounds like me. I don't
Mm.
have any drive or purpose, but I know I can do it. I know there's something in me that's got fire. I just lack purpose." So it was very much at a crossroads with my family life and my relationship, where I knew I had to change for many years. But then it was at a crossroad with questions I asked myself: was what do you want? What is it that you need? And then yeah, seeing your content, shall I say, basically, and just thought, okay.
What is it that you felt like held you back for so long for to changing? I think a lot of people right now in that same situation, deep down they want so much more for themselves. They feel like they could be more, but
Oh,
it's okay for now. And that little mindset can go on for
yep.
months and years. Like what do you feel like it is that stopped you from just I need to sort this
Being
out when you first had that initial thought?
being scared of becoming something different, being scared of maybe feeling certain things or understanding who I am, just being a bit apprehensive of what could change. Right, I think I was so
Mm,
used to the cycle I was in, comfortable, right, and it wasn't sometimes not a very good cycle, but I was a bit scared to realize who I really was and what I was capable of. I kept myself in a box for a long time, and I had this persona, this image who I was or tried to be. So maybe really looking in, I was probably a bit worried about, to be honest, seeing what
what
would
it,
come.
what's the biggest belief that you had to let go of there? That you're glad that you've let go of and learned?
you're not a failure. So for me, like I said, going 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, you end up letting people down a lot. You be in your own mind, you start to label yourself as a failure, or you've let too many people down, you're untrustworthy, you're not providing properly for your family, you're not providing properly for yourself. So yeah, definitely it was that for me.
Did feeling like you let yourself down so much and build up this, like, I'm not a man of my word. I'm probably not gonna um I don't stick to my word. I let people down. I let myself down. Did that ever hold you back from changing? Because you might have thought, you know what, I'm probably just gonna let myself down again.
Yeah, many a times, as we've touched on it in our sessions, is I've for years always thought I could get out of it. Always thought I'll try it, and it gets a little bit, oh crap, maybe I am looking too far in, and then I'll go back to it. So
Mm.
yeah, for sure, man, it was like that continuously for many of years.
Well, listen, I asked the question because I was the same, and I think a lot of people don't commit to themselves, don't commit to a coach or something because they look at lens from who they are now. I've let myself down so many times, so what makes me think I'm going to commit to this coach or commit to this program or commit to myself, And I think that's a scary thought for some people that holds them back from some really getting committed, right? In the coaching itself, when do you feel like things started to progress for you? When do you like, was it a weekend, 2 weeks in, a month in? When did you feel like, oh shit, I'm actually improving here, I'm growing, I'm getting better?
I think there was three key parts to our coaching. I think the first key part was me reaching out. So me finding you and realizing that I'd be open, right? It was to come to a point where, do I need therapy before I come to you? What do I need to break the habits, the cycles, the negative thoughts? But then it was the purpose. It was having that why. It was very much that for me was the first biggest change of my mindset shift. Me approaching
Mm,
you and having that first conversation about on like when we was talking about what the coaching is. I would say the second biggest impactful thing was our purpose statement and our goals. I
mm,
think for me, really allowed me to root in and go, well, what is, who am I? Who do I want to be? Right. And then building around that. And something I've done, uh, you say religiously, right? For me, over and over again, I've made that commitment from that day that that's who I am, that's who I'm going to be, my
mm,
value, goals. Um, I live and breathe it now because I truly am happy. The person I've become, but I'm also becoming still, right? There's two parts to that. And then the third for me was the integration into the group. I think it was a few weeks in and being in seeing it was very much one to one with me and you. But then when we got involved into the community and we're having a chat with looking around you, going for coffee, having a run with people who are in the same journey, slightly different, but you start to think, yeah, this is the right place. You're talking on the chat. So for me, it was definitely at the beginning, the impact of the shift in mindset, the purpose statement, and looking into who I wanted to be, and then integrating with the B community.
mm.
Uh, yeah, a lot of good connections, a lot of I would say more belief that you can become who you want to be. Because when you're
Love
looking
that.
around with people as well who are on the same journey and their stories and they're becoming better, it does push you along too, for sure.
Love that. Do you feel like, although do we know that there's a next version of you, a next version, a next version of you, do you feel like you become the person that you wanted to be, like from the beginning to who you are now?
Yeah, I smile. I'm always smiling. I'm everything that I set out at the beginning with you. I know I've become right, and
Mm,
it's not just me saying that. Is I've shown you. We spoke about the comments from people from work, people like Danny, the missus, and the messages, and after that 50K run, and a message saying, "I'm glad, love the person you've become," right, and that is why I did it mainly. for
Love
her
that.
and the family. So yeah, for sure, I don't even think about the old me, past me. I know who I am and the person I wanted to become. I'm over the moon with.
How crazy is it the fact that you were so scared to let go of who you was, um, because it's yours comfortable, right? But now you've become the person that you want to be. But it's hard to see that person when you're that person sometimes, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Don't get me wrong, I do have a flashback occasionally,
Oh,
but
you don't lose them.
uh, no, I just yeah, it's so natural now, right? Obviously, the
Yeah,
habits,
nice.
everything that we did in the coaching, the frameworks, the habit building, the self belief, like it's just yeah, as we talk a lot, is the influence, right? Power of influence and persuasion, and how I still using that to this day in everything that I do, in all aspects. So it's really
Love
put
that.
the tools in place for me to just to be that person.
Love that, bro. And now we're going to touch on a couple of just internal and external achievements. Yeah. Like I'm going to go off the bat because you mentioned 50K. Yeah. What are some like external things that you achieved that you're very proud of? And then like some internal shifts or mindset shifts or things that you changed that you feel like you're proud of?
External, like running my first marathon, doing a 50K in a park with one of the B communities who I met
Yeah, that was great.
as soon as I turned up, and supporting each other. Um, a lot of running events, because running for me is my medicine, right? It keeps me disciplined. It's a bit more confidence that I can do hard things when I don't want to do hard things at the same time. So the running aspect in the community, the 50K, the marathon, obviously a lot planned in the future, which we can touch on in the podcast and stuff. Got a 50K this week, this Saturday actually.
Nice.
Ultras, so another one of them booked, which is in 2 days' time. Um,
And how do you feel
Externally,
like it's also improved your professional too, if you don't mind me asking? Like not
so
in just terms of who you are and what you've done.
so my journey, I've not I've lost a lot of weight. I've become the fittest person I've ever been in my life. I'm in the best shape mentally, physically, endurance or fitness or running ability as well. The people around me who've seen not just internal, but my external change and who I am, what I do, the influence it's had not just on my family and friends, from
Mm,
work, everyone around me, is only positive, and I know and I hope it really does give them a boost that people can change, and you can become a better self. And hopefully, I am that influence in their lives to do
love
that.
that. I'm sure you have been, bro. We know that just by the response that you've had, right? What is something that you're most proud of through the coaching?
To be honest, it's becoming that trustworthy, reliable partner and father to Danny and the girls. Um,
Mm,
Even though deep down I knew I was, but I was doing certain things that would always break that. So I was always there, always around, always delivering through them. But becoming, as I said in my purpose statement, is being trustworthy, reliable partner into business, into fitness. It comes into all my values. But yeah, being looking back and knowing my family can rely on me
love
is
that.
probably my greatest achievement for sure.
Love that, bro. Well, listen, mate, everything that you've done throughout the coaching and not just throughout the coaching, you know, I'd like to touch on that one, two more things. Everything you've done throughout the coaching has been incredible, both, you know, personally, professionally, internally, all of these things, you know, massive changes you. And I know some people, you know, worry about what's after. Where do I go next? Is it going to continue? Obviously, I know what my coaching does. I know the impact that I want to make, not just with you. I also want to know that after, you know, things are still going the way that they should be going. How have things been since we stopped coaching? Are they slipping back or are they progressing?
They're progressing for two reasons, right? Everything that we went through in our coaching frameworks and tools isn't on one-time use, right? It allows you. You're going to go through goals quicker than you can imagine, right? In this course, and you're going to start delivering, and the confidence in yourself to go. I'm going to go again. I'm going to readjust. I'm going to go again. and it allows you to have that confidence to keep going, looking at the tools and the frameworks and everything that we did in our coaching to keep going again and keep
Mm.
improving. The second point that allows us to keep improving after the coaching is that community, right?
Yeah.
For me, I've it really does every morning. I was thus accountable, right? Seeing
Mm.
everyone winning, seeing everyone doing stuff. The way we can just put in a group. Anyone fancy this at the weekend? Anyone want to go for a run? Helping people through their own mission, their goals, and the support is. It is it's cheesy. It's not like a brotherhood, but it's very much like that togetherness, community, right? As what it
Yeah.
says, allows you to flourish a little bit more because you all still all had coaching or going through coaching or come
Yeah.
out of coaching, and it does bring it together. So you're not then just had a coaching course and then you're just by yourself,
Yeah, for
which
sure.
I can imagine can end up slipping the other way because
Yeah.
what happens next. So yeah, for me it was the tools and the frameworks that and the confidence it gave me to keep going. Like for me, I'm going to my next version quite quickly.
Love it. We can see, bro. Now, just to finish up, right, is there anything that you'd like to share about your journey? Or if you was talking to you where you was, 3, 4, 5 months ago before the coaching or contemplate coaching, or not specifically you, but someone in your position, in your shoes, is there any advice you'd give them or say anything to them in terms of where they might be at when it comes to, should I do something like this? Should I not
Yep.
do something like this? Where do I go?
Your best investment is yourself. And if you delay that investment in yourself, you're only delaying your possible future. So for me, the investment I made into myself, into this coaching, has paid me back 100 times over already. Um,
Nice.
and if you're, for me, if I was talking to myself before, do it because you really want to change and
Mm.
invest into yourself because you will become unstoppable
Love that, brother. Powerful. Thank you for sharing everything, mate. I really appreciate it. Good
anytime.
man. Top man.